I don't think I've ever seen a sequel so much worse than the original than this one. This is absolute trash. This is Basic Instinct 2. I'm Jay Harangue and I've wasted hours of my life watching terrible films.
You should subscribe.
This one is set in London and it starts with Catherine Trammell speeding in her car with famous footballer Kevin Franks, played by actual footballer Stan Collymore. She's like, Kevin, I think it'll be fun if you slip me a few digits while I drive over the speed limit.
What?
He's off his face, so he agrees, and inevitably they crash. But oh no, the car's ended up in the water and he can't release the seatbelt, so he's dead and Catherine is brought in for questioning.
And the fingering was a little bit off, but...
This is Detective Roy Washburn, and he's a knob. Catherine's really clever, and the police can't pin anything on her.
You don't seem too upset by what's happened.
Of course I am. I'm traumatized. Who knows if I'll ever come again.
Come again?
At this point, I'm pretty sure she will at least once in the next 2 hours. Yes, that's right, this film is 2 hours long.
Is that going to be a problem?
Yes.
Anyway, Washburn wants her in jail, but the police don't have a case.
Well, just fucking make one.
This film is set in London, in England, and this actor is English. Why he's putting on this accent, I have no idea. If she goes for bail, Washburn will arrange for a psych evaluation from someone good and tough. And here's the guy he's hired, Dr. Michael Glass. So he starts the evaluation, and to save time, I'll summarise. The dialogue is appalling. There's a load of pointless lines like this.
You know what I like about you? You enjoy being in control.
The acting is dire. None of these people are even bad actors, but they're just not believable at all. I think it's testament to just how bad the script is. This is shit. Anyway, in court, Michael tells them he thinks Catherine is dangerous, so it looks like she's not getting bail. On his way out of court, he's approached by this guy. This is Adam Towers, and he works for Urbane magazine. He wants to write about Catherine because she's hot and may have killed a famous footballer.
Well, that makes sense.
He thinks he's got a way in too, because he's shagging Michael's wife.
Excuse me?
And how is my wife these days?
Ex-wife, Michael. Ex-wife.
Sorry, ex-wife. Adam's like, can we talk about George Cheslov? Michael's like, no. Cheslov was one of his patients who, while in his care, killed his girlfriend with a brick. This was years ago, though, so he doesn't want to talk about that. He assumes his ex-wife Denise must have told Adam about Cheslov, so he goes to see her. She works at the Natural History Museum, one of many London landmarks featured in this film. It's almost as if this is some sort of advert for London, paid for by the tourist board.
Yep.
Anyway, Denise is like, it wasn't me, he already knew. Then we meet Milena. She's Michael's colleague. They're talking about Catherine when Washburn calls him to let him know that Catherine's made bail, despite his evaluation. It's some technicality. I don't care. You probably don't either. This is shit. Later at this talk by some eminent psychiatrist, we're given the idea that everyone thinks Michael is a good psychiatrist, and this woman, Michelle, wants to bang him. Later, we see Michael on his way to the office. Oh, look, he works in the Gherkin, a famous London landmark. When he gets to his office, Catherine is there. She's like, your evaluation got me worried, so I'd like you to treat me.
I wouldn't be able to treat you myself, of course, but I'd be happy to refer you to a colleague.
She's like, no, I only want you. He decides to make an exception in Catherine's case because the plot wouldn't work otherwise, so now he's her psychiatrist. Her first session is just like the evaluation earlier. All it is her flirting with him and acting dangerous and mysterious, and him trying to be really serious when he's clearly got a boner.
Yep.
There's a bit of a clawback to the first film now, as Michael reads Catherine's book Shooter, which is about the incident in San Francisco with Nick Curran, aka Michael Douglas, whatever, I don't care. Michael is clearly getting turned on by the sex parts, and is already thinking about banging Catherine. They discuss the events of the first film in their next session. This is so she can talk about sex and catch him drooling over her.
What a slut.
If I've not made this clear already, please never watch this film. It's awful. Now there's this party, I don't know whose it is, and I don't care. But Michael sees Catherine there, talking to Milena. He has to leave now because it's inappropriate for him to be at a social event with one of his patients.
Oh, I see.
The only thing you need to know or care about here is that we see Catherine has a lighter in the shape of the Elizabeth Tower, sometimes incorrectly referred to as Big Ben. Big Ben's the name of the bell inside the tower, actually.
True.
Anyway, Catherine's like, why don't we go for a drink on our own? But he's like, no.
I've told you I don't socialise with my patients.
Ooh, you're odd.
She flirts them a bit, which gives him the horn, so he takes Michelle home instead, and then they bang. While that's going on, he's staring at a picture of Catherine, but it all stops when he gets a call from his ex-wife Denise, who's crying. He goes to meet her at Adam Towers' place, and oh look, Adam Towers is dead.
What a revolting development.
She hasn't called the police because she was afraid. Oh dear, what's this? It's the lighter Catherine had, so Michael reckons it was probably her. Anyway, it's alright because Roy Washburn's there to deal with it. Next day, it's another session with Catherine. It comes out that Catherine was also sleeping with Adam. Michael is annoyed about this, but he pretends the reason he's angry is because Catherine smokes in his office.
Put it out now or you can leave, okay?
Okay.
She's like, look, Michael, I know you want me. Oh, sorry, I have to go, bye.
I'm terminating therapy. Send me the bill.
We don't actually see Michael knocking one out in his office, but it's certainly implied. Then he goes to this coffee shop. He starts talking to the waitress and then they bang. When he gets home, Detective Washburn is waiting for him. Washburn has found out that Catherine and Adam were banging and that the last call he made before he died was to her. He's like, come on, Michael, you must know something. But he's like, I can't say anything. Our sessions are confidential. Washburn's like, fine then. What do you know about an article Adam was writing about you and George Cheslov?
Apparently he'd been very busy, had a lot of information on you.
Michael's like, sorry, do you think I killed him to stop him writing a stupid little article? He's like, no, but just to be safe, how did you spend last night? Michael tells Washburn that after the party he was banging Michelle when Denise called him.
Sounds like your evening was better than mine.
Fast forward a few days and Michael hasn't seen Catherine for ages, so he starts following her.
Of course. Well, isn't that what most people do?
No.
Oh.
He sees what he thinks is her getting attacked by this guy, but it's just one of Catherine's weird sex games, which he ends up watching through a glass roof. He goes to Melena's house and tells her what's happened.
You're in love with her, aren't you? You have to terminate this therapy. Right away.
The next day, Washburn goes to see Michael. He tells him that Adam Tower's notes and research have gone missing.
You think Catherine has it?
I know she does.
Fair enough.
Washburn's like, tell me everything Catherine's been saying, but he's like, no, I can't, it's confidential. This is shit. Washburn reminds Michael that he's good for his business as he always brings in criminals to evaluate. Then he tells him that his ex-wife Denise has been saying that he lied at the Cheslov trial, so he goes to see Denise at this bar.
Do you want to ruin my life? Do you want to ruin my practice?
Your life? Your practice? Catherine was right.
Catherine?
So Denise walks out and Michael follows her into this club, where he sees her going to the bathroom with Catherine. Oh no, her throat's been slit. Don't care.
Call an ambulance! Do it now!
Washburn's like, okay, Michael, this is looking a bit weird now. People saw you arguing in the bar. She was going to tell people you lied at the Cheslov inquiry, and then someone slits her throat.
That doesn't look good.
But while he's being questioned, Catherine has come into the station and told them that Denise told her in bed that Adam Towers was trying to pressure her into saying that Michael had lied. This means he's free to go, so he goes to see Catherine. Turns out Catherine's new book is about a psychiatrist, and she's doing research on the Cheslov case. They have another one of these pointless conversations, and they bang. I don't care. Then he bumps into Catherine's lawyer, who's like, I hope Detective Washburn isn't giving you a cause for concern. He's like, why would he be?
Well, given his past record.
What past record?
So he goes to the library and finds out that Adam Towers did an article in Being a Dirty Cop without naming him. Apparently the internet didn't exist in 2006. According to Adam's assistant, who looks like an absolute twat, he was going to write an article naming him.
Then he got killed.
So now Michael is convinced that Washburn has been going around killing everyone and trying to frame Catherine. This is shit. But then Washburn takes him to a crime scene and oh look, it's the guy Catherine was shagging the other night and he's dead too. Washburn also tells him to call Detective Walker from the first film. Remember him? Yeah, don't care. So now it's a straight, was it Washburn or was it Catherine? He keeps changing his mind and I can't be asked with the rest of this. So let's get to the part where something actually happens.
That would be wonderful. Thank you.
He reads a draft of Catherine's book and it's so far told the whole story of what's happened. But the next part suggests she's going to kill Melena, so he calls Washburn and tells him to go to Melena's house straight away. When Michael gets there, Catherine's already there. Then this happens.
Well, I'll make you tell her the truth!
Catherine has a gun, but somehow he's still not sure who the killer is.
Really?
Whatever she told you, she's lying. Kill her is the only chance you've got.
The rest of the police come in, see him with the gun and arrest him.
What?
At an unspecified time later, we see Michael in a mental institution. Catherine has come to visit and explains she did all these killings and framed him for her book.
What a pile of shit.
And that's 2 hours of my life I'll never get back. So until next time. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed this, please like and subscribe and check out this other video. Thank you.